So Kemp lashes M.L.B. as Republicans defend Georgia's voting law. So that'd be, of course, well, I thought I muted my computer, but clearly I didn't do that. So Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia, who is starting his re-election push, argued that the league had caved to fear in its moving its all-star game as he tried to rally Republicans around the new voting limits. This was interesting, and I don't know if anybody's been following some of this, and Major League Baseball, virtue signaling here. They moved to the state of Colorado, and Colorado actually has less days that you can vote, and some of these other things. So this is talk about posturing and talk about BS. Let me say this too. Look, anybody that knows me very well, I'm not a typical guy. I don't like professional sports. This is exactly why.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. This is exactly why. Stop being flippin' political about anything.
When they went on strike,
pisses me off.
And football lost how many viewers when they did the whole take a knee thing, and this is why. Mm-hmm. This is exactly why.
There's been some good articles on this, and like you just said, people need to do their research and not just read the headlines and what happened with the voting law changes. It's not what everybody thinks it is of being bad and keeping voters suppressed. In the article that I was listening to yesterday, they talked about how Atlanta is like one of the most progressive cities in the country for black-owned businesses and people of color businesses and entrepreneurship. And it went on to say, of any place in this country, this is not the place where you're going to try and suppress people of color and not allow them to vote. Atlanta, Georgia, that's not the place where you're going to push that agenda and have any success. But that's how the media is twisting this. And, Major League Baseball and Coca-Cola, they're pandering.
They just oppressed, actually, a whole bunch of people that they're saying they're not going to oppress.
Right.
Because there's not the black businesses, and if you want to, again, I'm not.
So there's 51% black in Atlanta.
Businesses,
less than 10 in Colorado.
Yeah, the businesses that they are now oppressing that are owned by black people are. This is destroying that narrative. They're literally doing the opposite of what they say they're trying to do.
How much tourist money are those black-owned businesses going to lose?
But you know
because
what?
The All-Star game
I think
isn't
they need to do? I think that they need to let people in these games without tickets.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
They're oppressing me.
Oh.
Hit them in the pocketbook.
They're oppressing me.
Let everybody in.
Let everybody
whether you
in.
have money or not.
Yeah. Let everybody in. Money or not.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's.
That's an idea.
And you don't have to show your COVID card.
Who's with me?
Let's go. Hit them in the pocketbook.
No, but that's they require that you have a ticket to get into these games.
You
have to pay for the ticket to get into the game. That's a form of ID.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Let everybody in.
Stop.
They don't need to make money, do they?
No, that's capitalism. You don't want
they
that.
don't like
that's
capitalism.
bad. That's bad stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. It's so messed up. It's so messed up.
People and posters up in their stands for the rest of the year.
They're pandering, yet they're hurting the people that they're trying to. Yeah, it just doesn't make. They're not thinking these things through.
Yeah, they are. They want it to be one way, and they want people to cave to these ideas and these ideals, and they're pulling out all the stops with it. The basketball, they couldn't. Basketball couldn't. Was it basketball? I believe it was. Hong Kong support of Hong Kong, like right at the beginning of COVID, I believe it was. They came out and some of the players. Now I'm pulling this out of memory, but some of the players had the Hong Kong on their jerseys or something, and they said they couldn't do it. Well, then BLM was okay,
right?
And some of these other things. So China's trying to oppress people in Hong Kong, and they can't support. Wait, what? Can we do some math on this?
So this article that I read,
it's-
it was a podcast, and they talked about that of number one, sports needs to stay out of politics. Period. They're entertainers. That's it.
Yep.
And
so does entertainment. Any form of entertainment.
right. And the president is behind these movements in sports. Okay, you're calling for boycotts of these sports. Are you going to boycott the 2022 Olympics in China? Because China has prison camps. China has slaves, essentially. But yet you're going to send Americans to that country and support that economy?
Well, the Uyghur,
where's
Uyghur
the double
Muslims,
standards?
The Uyghur Muslims are, they're in essentially concentration or labor camps, I guess is what you'd call them.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're going to support that country and their initiative of the Olympics. It's those double standards. Yeah.
He did hear you, but
I did. I'm talking about Mads. Yeah. So it just all or nothing, man. So
but again, they're trying to push this agenda and things. So I and what that is, I don't know. It changes all the time, but they definitely don't want. They want what they want, and they're going to scream and jump up and down and do whatever they need to do.
Well, look
to
how many
make that
fans
happen.
baseball really lost. How many years ago that they went on strike? I mean, it just made everybody upset. They wanted more money. And now, it's all for them kind of thing.
and it's happened in hockey and
compared to a year ago,
football.
they wanted to be able to play, and now they're complaining where they can play at because of something to do with voting. It doesn't even have anything to do with COVID or restrictions or anything like that. It has something to do with something political that should not be associated with it at all.
I completely agree. And all these players, LeBron James especially, and the kind of money that, and Steph Curry really too. I was very disappointed in him. They're getting money. China's profitable for them in massive ways, and so they're not going to stand up to some of these things. So that's why they're this leftist, almost communist agenda is just, I don't know. It's wild.
Well, I mean, you can go down a wormhole in this. All these pro athletes that are making tens of millions of dollars a year, living in their tens of millions of dollars mansions. Put your money where your mouth is and start helping the people in these depressed, impoverished communities. Why do you have to have a 20,000 square foot house? Live in a modest 10,000 square foot house and put 100 families into their own homes.
So President Biden came on and gave a press release, these are the leaders of our country. These are the people of our country. And his little news article was done. And the next news article was the Washington football player that has 10 counts of sexual misconduct charges against him. I mean, literally, like right after that. These are the leaders of our country. These are the people our kids should be following.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the NFL player who killed the doctor and his wife and 2 grandkids, a couple other people.
Player.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, be
I'm
careful.
Sure that we all know that those NFL players, there was that a year or two ago talking about the brain injuries and stuff that they occur. So,
Was that the Rodriguez guy from the Patriots?
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
And it's been proven that it exists. I could only imagine you get it in your head from, usually these guys are coming from high school on up, if not, pee-wee football. So you can imagine how many times they're hit, and it's eventually your brain's just going to be affected.
Well, in the article about the marijuana, it was Jim Belushi's brother John was a football player in high school and college, and he got his bell rung, and they said, get back on the field. And Jim Belushi, the brother who has a marijuana farm in Oregon, had said, if marijuana was available back then, my brother may have still been around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, and some of those. I guess that's a little dangerous path to go down. But I think that it's worth studying for sure. But I think you got to, I don't know.
Yeah. Wormhole.
Yeah, it is. I call it a rabbit hole because
It's probably the right term.
Yeah.
Hey, a lot of people have asked how they can support the work we're doing here at Matt Logan Speaks. Well, you see this hammer that I got in my hand? It's pretty big. All you have to do is hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bell so that when we have new content up, you're the first to know about it. We really appreciate the comments, shares, likes, because you know what? That's the best way you can support us, because the algorithms on all these fancy computers, that's what they need. We appreciate it.